Welcome dear students to lecture 2 of module 2. In this lecture we will learn about the encryption techniques using substitution methods. In this section we will learn about the substitution techniques of encryption. The two basic building blocks of encryption techniques are substitution techniques and the transposition techniques. So in substitution techniques what we do is the letters of plain text are replaced by other letters, symbols or numbers. So the different types what we are going to learn are Caeser cipher, monoalphabetic cipher, Playfair cipher, Hill cipher, polyalphabetic cipher and one-time pad. So first we learn about the Caeser cipher. So Caesar cipher is a substitution cipher. It is named after Julius Caesar. He was using this cipher. So what is operation principle? Here each letter is translated into a letter of fixed number of position after it in the alphabet table. We have 26 alphabets, right? So we take the key size to be a fixed number. In Caesar cipher, the key size is fixed to k is equal to 3. Or in general, it can also be called, if it is anything other than 3, then it is called as a shift cipher. So the fixed number of position is a key both for encryption and decryption. That is why it is called symmetric encryption. For encryption and decryption purposes, we use the same key. So the Caesar cipher, outside in the circle is a plain text. Okay, in blue, A to Z is listed out. And the inner one is the ciphertext. So now it is like the shift here. In case if k is 3, so it is like a shift from the plain text, the ciphertext is obtained. Now how that is obtained, we'll see in the example. So in Caesar cipher, I mentioned that the key is 3. Okay. So in case in this now, see the outside is the plain text. So for A, what is the ciphertext? It is D. That is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this one D. And for B, what is the plain text? E. For C, what is the ciphertext? F. For D, the ciphertext is G. E, H, F, I. G, J, H, K. Now, how this exactly is done? Let me just take an example and explain it to you. So here, mathematically, how can we map to these letters to numbers is, now see A, B, C. So A is given to 0, B is 1, C is 2, so on up to Z is 25. This is how the alphabets are mapped. Then in general, for the here also we see we are using the modular arithmetic. So how it is, P is a plain text. So ciphertext is the equivalent of plain text, the number equivalent of plain text plus the key, whatever the key size. Caesar cipher means it is going to be 3. So mod 26. In case of the decryption process, again the key is the same, the reverse process of it. So what we do, we take the equivalent, cipher equivalent, numerical equivalent for the ciphertext minus the key space mod 26. Okay. So this is how the mathematical process is done. So let us take an example to understand this clearly. So an example is considered over here where key is taken as 3. Okay, that is a Caesar cipher. So what is a plain text? Plain text letter is A, B, C, D, E, F up to Z. So ciphertext equivalent is D. How this is done, I will do it in the next slide. Okay. So an example is taken, treaty impossible. So it is translated to, the treaty is translated W, U, H, D, W, B, and impossible is L, P, S, R, V, V, L, E, O, H. So let us see how this is done. I will work out it in the next slide. So first what you have to do is, first you have to list out all the alphabets A to Z and give its equivalent numbering. So A is 0, B is 1, C is 2, up to where? Up to Z is 25. So first you need to list it out like this. So then consider, so let me take the example here. So I will take treaty. So TREATY. This is the given treat impossible. I take the first part treaty. So what is T equivalent? That you have to see the table. So T equivalent is 19. What is R equivalent? R equivalent is 17. What is E equivalent? You check the table. 4. What is A equivalent? 0. What is T equivalent again? T equivalent is how much? 19. What is Y equivalent? Y equivalent is 24. So now I have written the equivalent. Now we have seen there in the previous slide what is the cipher. Cipher text is equal to your plain text plus the key mod 26. So let me apply this over here. So the cipher text, the first one for T equivalent, what is the cipher text? The plain text value is 19. What is a key? Key size, we know key size is equal to 3. It is given to us. Okay, so 3 mod 26. So how much is this? 19 plus 3 gives you how much? 22. 22 mod 26 is 22. Now in the table check the 22. What is the alphabet equivalent for 22? So alphabet equivalent for 22 is here. This is the alphabet equivalent for 22. What is it? W. So I write that here. Coming to the next one. What is the next alphabet? R. So R equivalent is 17 plus 3 mod 26. So 17 plus 3 is how much? 20. 20 mod 26 is 20. So what is the 20 equivalent of the letter? It is U. So I write U. Next is E. What is the E equivalent of the numerical equivalent of E? 4 plus 3 mod 26. So how much is this? This is going to be 7. What is the 7 equivalent alphabet? It is H. So I write H. Next is what? A. A is 0. So 0 plus 3 mod 26. So how much is this? 3. What is the 3 equivalent? 3 equivalent is D. Next A is done. Next is T. T is again 19 plus 3. That we have already done. Mod 26. So what is this? 22. So what is it? Equivalent is W. Next is Y. So what is Y? Y is 24. 24 plus 3 mod 26. So how much is this? 24 plus 3 is 27. 27 mod 26. So 27 mod 26 is what? 1. So what is equivalent of 1? 1 is B. So what is the cipher for treaty? So T R E A T Y. So T equivalent is W, R is U, E is H, A is D, and T is W, and Y is B. So this is the cipher text. Okay, so I hope treaty you understood. So you can try for impossible. Already answer is there in the previous slide. Okay, so this is about encryption. So let us take one more example for decryption also. Now let us take an example for a decryption process. So I will give the cipher text. So we know the cipher text here. Let me take a cipher text. Say it is P H H W and PH. This is a cipher text. Now, does this mean anything? No, right? Until and unless you know the plain text, this has no meaning. So now we know that this is Caesar cipher. We know the key. Key is 3. If you don't know this key, then it is not possible. It is possible. If you know that it is Caesar cipher, then you can try the brute force attack. All the possible keys you can try. How many possible keys are there? Alphabets are from A to Z, right? So possible keys are 26. So 26 times if you try, you are going to get one particular text which is meaningful. Okay, so that you can try. So now it is, we know now this is the given cipher text. Now what I have to do, the similar way, what is a plain text? Here plain text, if I have to get, the formula is C minus K mod 26. This is the formula. So first I have to take P. What is the equivalent of P? The numerical equivalent of P, it is 15. So 15 minus 3 mod 26. So 15 minus 3 gives you what? It gives you 12. So what is the 12 equivalent, numerical equivalent? It is M. Next is H. So what is the H equivalent, numerical equivalent there? For H it is 7. So 7 minus 3 mod 26 equal to what? 7 minus 3 is going to be 4. So what is the 4 equivalent? 4 equivalent is equal to E. Again it is H, so I can write the same, 7 minus 3 mod 26 equal to 4, which is equal to E. Then the last one is W. What is W? 22. 22 minus 3 mod 26, which is equal to how much? It is equal to 19. So 19, what is equivalent to T? So what did you get? PHHW as meet. Then again P. P is what again? 15. 15 minus 3 mod 26. So that is equal to M. H. So what is the H equivalent? H equivalent is 7. 7 minus 3 mod 26, which is equal to E. So what is the plain text? So we got the plain text to be meet me. This is the plain text what we got. Or simply, this is the actual procedure, mathematical procedure what you have to do. Or you can also say that here. Now if it is P, so it is 3, or say meet me, I want to convert it into a cipher text. Okay, so if I want cipher text, I have to do this procedure of mathematical procedure, modular arithmetic. Or here what I do is, I know the key size is 3, right? So from M, here M is, so I go 3 spaces forward. So what I have to do here, so starting from here, M 1, 2 and 3. So P. After E again 3 spaces forward. Where is E? E. So 1, 2 and 3. Again same. T. After T 3 spaces forward. 1, 2, 3. This is the way I have to do. Whatever shift, that many shifts we will have to do. And that equivalent we will have to write over here. So that is how you get this as P, H, H, W, and meet means P, H. I hope Caesar cipher is clear with this example. So similarly, you can try with different examples. If it is known that given ciphertext is Caesar cipher, then brute force cryptanalysis easily performed. That is, we have to simply try 25 possible keys, right? Because we are using the English again. The language used is English, so that is also very easily known. Then encryption decryption algorithm is also known. Then so it is easily brute force attack can be easily applied. So you can try one example and try it for yourself and check this one. There's this UNOU YZGZK. Try for this, okay, and see. It is 25 possible keys. If you try, you're going to get the one of the thing is going to be have a give you a meaningful word of for this one. You can also write a program also for this, maybe using Python or C, anything you can try, or manually also you can try. Okay, this is an assignment for you. So next cipher what we are going to learn is the monoalphabetic cipher. So in Caesar cipher, we have seen that it is not secure. Brute force attack can be easily done to that, because we know that key space only 25 possible key spaces are possible. So any of this you're going to get the plain text. But here in monoalphabetic cipher, what we do is we randomly assign the letters here. It is not in a particular order. Like in there, it was in Caesar cipher, it was like the key space was 3. So then it was in the same manner it was assigned. But here, randomly it is assigned. So A can be assigned to D, but it also can be assigned to something else as well. So there are 26 permutations are possible. Okay, to for assigning of these letters. So here, see example here, A, B, C, D, E, F. So if it is so, I'll assign A to D and say assign C to B. So any way we can assign. This is one way. And here, see plain text, if we wish to replace letters. So here, if is assigned W and I, W is assigned as R and F. So here, so similarly, in this way, any possible combinations can be used. So key size, again, key size is 26 permutations are 26 factorial we can do. So that is a really a huge key size. So key size, I told you it is 26 factorial, or it is nothing but 4 into 10 to the power 26 keys. So that many possibilities are there. So brute force attack is going to be impossible. Okay, because there in the Caesar cipher it is only 25 keys, so that is easily possible. Here 4 into 10 to the power 26 keys. Brute force attack is not possible, but cryptanalytic attack is possible. Here why it is possible is because of the language characteristic. How language characteristics we will see in the next upcoming slide. So we have, in the previous slide we have discussed that cryptanalytic attack is possible because of the language characteristic. Now how this is possible is human languages are not random. Okay, the letters are not equally frequently used. Now in English language itself, E is by far the most common letter, followed by T, R, N, I, O, A, and S. Other letters like Z, J, K, Q, X are fairly rarely used. Okay. Now there are tables of single, double, and triple letter frequencies for various languages as well. Like TH, the TH is normally used together, or THE is used then they. So such a characteristic are possible. So in this you can see the English letter frequencies. So now here see E is the majorly used. See the frequency of usage is 12.0, the relative frequency there we are. Next highest used is say T. T is used around 9.056. Next is A. A is used 8.167. Then after that is I. I is 6.996. And here O is also there 7.50. Then N is there. See rarely used are this J. Then Q, then X and Z. These are the rarely used. So from this table, you know the English letter frequencies, how frequently which letter is used. So if the person knows this, then he can try to deduce the cipher text. Okay, he can get the plain text from the given cipher text. So previously we have seen the statistics of the single letter usages. Here we will see the statistics of double letter usages. See in increasing order frequency it is given double letters TH, HE, AN, IN, ER, RE, ES, ON. There are such similar many more are there. Some are listed. These are normally these letters normally come together. TH, see TH is in then, they, these, thus. So there are so many examples you can take where these letters normally come together. AN, than, can, pan. So these are the things which comes together. You can just list it out. You'll know how frequently these words come together. Triple letters. See here, the, and, ent, ion, tio, for, nd. All these are the triple letters which normally are always written together. So if you can, if these are repeated in the uh, cipher text, then he can the opponent or the cryptanalyst, he can deduce that what can be the equivalent this letters for the given cipher text. So how the attack can be done or how cryptanalysis can be used here is one, the main thing is monoalphabetic substitution does not change the relative letter frequencies. So if you can calculate the letter frequencies for the cipher text, then it is easy to compare the distribution against the known one. So here to avoid the cryptanalytic attack, what can be done is the countermeasure what can be taken is you have to provide multiple substitution for a particular known alphabet. It is known as homophones. Like for a single letter, now if you have E, then E should be assigned with different equivalent alphabets rather than one. If it is E is replaced with W in the normal way, using homophones means E should be assigned with, say, once you should assign E with W, once you should assign with, say, A, once you should assign with F, so on. If this is done, then the cryptanalytic attack becomes difficult. Okay, so let us see an example to understand how this monoalphabetic cipher works. So here is an example for the cryptanalysis. Say a cipher text is given here. Okay, user Q S so on. Okay, it's a big cipher text. So what is done is for this whole cipher text, the relative letter frequencies are calculated for all of this. So as per here it is mentioned. See P 13.33 times it has occurred. Z has occurred 11.67 times. S has occurred 8.33 times. U has occurred 8.3, so on. This whole list is done. And see here, C, K, L, N, R, these are never repeated. So what the cryptanalyst does is he guesses. See, P and Z are the majorly appearing ones. So we know the English letter this frequencies, right? The alphabet frequency, which are the most used ones. The most used ones are E and T as per the relative frequency you have seen. So what the cryptanalyst does, he assigns P with E and assigns Z with the T. Seeing the frequency what is listed from the cipher text and the English letter frequencies how they appear. Then after that, what it does is he checks the double letters. Say ZW has a highest frequency. So what it does, ZW highest frequency means we have seen TH, the double letters which come, TH comes together. Then and hence what is ZWP? P we have taken from the previously, we have seen that it is E, correct. So here what he does, he assigns a P with the E. So ZWP will be THE. So by trial and error, after many times you'll do such trial and error method, and the cipher text what was got from the plain text what was got from the cipher text is it was disclosed yesterday that several informal but direct contacts have been made with political representatives of the Vietcong in Moscow. Okay, this is the uh, text, plain text what is being got from the cipher text. Okay, this is the cryptanalysis what was done. So the encryption was done using monoalphabetic cipher. So decryption, they have used the English letter characteristics to do the cryptanalytic attack on the given cipher text. Now we will learn about Playfair cipher. In monoalphabetic cipher, we have seen that the key space is 26 factorial, but even that large key space cannot provide security. So from that we deduce that we have to give multiple assignments to a particular letter. So for that the next approach what was done was the Playfair cipher. So the Playfair is the best known cipher for such assignment. So this was invented by Charles Wheatstone in 1854, but it was named after his friend Baron Playfair. So let us see how the assignment is of letters is done in the Playfair cipher. So we have to construct a matrix here for the Playfair cipher. So how this is done we will see. First you have to write we have to use a 5 cross 5 matrix. Then we have to fill in the letters of the key without the duplicates. Then another later on we have to fill in the matrix with the other letters. So now for this example the considered here key considered is monarchy. So what I have to do is I have to write a 5 cross 5 matrix. I have written over it. Then I have to start filling up. So M, then next letter is O, N, A, R, C, H and Y. Now after this I have to write down the remaining alphabets. Now A is already written. So next I will write B. Next C is there. So I write D. After that E. Next is F, G. H is already done over here. Then I. I and J are always written together. Then is K. L. M is already there. N is there. O is there. P. Q. R is already there. S. T. U. V. W. X. Y is already there. So I write Z. So now this is how the 5 cross 5 matrix is done. Next, let me take the example. Say, let me take the same example what I've taken that time. No, some other example I'll take. Okay, so let me take madam. Madam, welcome. I will take. So first, what you have to do is we have to group it in a pair. So M A D A M W E L C O M E. So we are done grouping with the in a pair. Now we have to see this letter M and A. I have to see in this particular 5 cross 5 matrix where is M and where is A. So M is here and A is here. So it is in the same row. So if it is in the same row, so M will be replaced with the next element of it and A will be replaced in next. In a circular fashion it is going to be replaced. So M, for M I have to write A and for A I have to write R. So M is replaced with O, A is replaced with the R. Okay. Next D and A. So where is D? I have to find out. So D is here and A is here. So these are in different rows. So if they are in the different rows, then we have to check the element. So what to replace here is for A, we have to replace with the R. The element in the column above the other alphabet, and for this D what it replaces the element, the alphabet which is in the same column as that of the other alphabet. So D is replaced with the B, A is replaced with the R. Next M and W. So M is over here and W is over here. Again these are in two different columns. So for M I have to replace it with the N. So see W, the element in the Wth row, that is N. So M is replaced with N. And for W I have to replace the element in the mth column. So here U. Next is E and L. So E and L. Where is L? L is here. So E and L are in the same column. So the next element. So for E I have to replace by L. For L I have to replace by U. So E is replaced with the L. L is replaced with the U. C and O. C and O. See, they are in the separate columns. So for C, I have to replace with H because H is the element under the in the column that of O. So C is replaced with the H and O is replaced with the M. That is the element in the column of C. M and E. Where is M? M and E. So M and E are in the same column. So M is replaced with C and E is replaced with the L. So the cipher text is going to be O R B R N U L U H M C L. This is the cipher text. Okay, let me take one more example for your better understanding. So let us consider the key to be occurrence. U R R E N C E. So let me just fill up the table first. 5 cross 5 matrix. I'll start with O, C. Again C is repeated, so I cannot write it here. U, R is repeated, I cannot write here. E, N, again C, it is repeated. E is also repeated. So let me start with the beginning of the alphabets. A, B, C is there. D, E is there. F, G, H, I and J always come together. K, L, M, N is there. O is there. P, Q, R is there. S, T, U is there. V, W, X, Y and Z. So let us take the plain text to be parrot. So here, let me first group into two pairs, a pair of it as a pair. So PA. Now R and R I cannot take together. So whenever you have a repetitive letters which comes together, I have to replace one with the X. So RX. Next this R is over. Then I have to write R and O. Now don't write RX and RX because here it is not repeated. R and O. T. So here also I don't have anything to pair with this. So I write a X there. Okay. So then now this is the way we do the pairing. So let us consider PA first. So where is P? P is here and A is here. So it is in the same column. So I have to take the next letter P. For PW, for A it is H. If the W comes, then I have to go to C. It is like a circular fashion. If the W is a letter, what we get, then we will have to go to C. Okay, in a circular way in the same column, that is the way it is replaced. So for P and A, so P is replaced with W and A is replaced with the H. Now R and X, where is R? R is over here, X is over here. So they are in the two different columns. So I have to see for R, I have to replace with the U. And for X, I have to replace with the Y. You have to consider this whole box or consider the letter opposite to the R which is in the same column as X. For X, you have to consider the letter opposite to that in the column in the same row but in the column of that of the R. So for R, I have to replace with U. For X, I have to replace with the Y. Next is R and O. Where is R? R is over here. Where is O? Here. Now this is in the same row. So for R, I have to take E. For O, I have to take C. So R is E. O is C. T and X. So where is T? T is here. X is here. So for T, what do I have to take? See, column, the same column as X. Same row as T. So I have to take Q. For X, what I have to take? The same row as X, but the column of T. So Z. So for T, it is Q. For X, it is Z. So what is the cipher text for parrot? It is W, H, U, Y, E, C, Q, Z. Now let us go to the reverse process of getting the plain text from here. Again the same process. I have to write the in pairs WH, UY, EC, and QZ. Now consider over here again. Now where is W and H? See, where is W? W is here. Where is H? Okay, where is W? W is over here, correct. And where is H? H is over here. Now this is the reverse process. So that in the when we did the encryption, we have taken the next word. Now we have to go the reverse way. For W I have to go the previous P, and for H I have to go in this way, reverse order. So W is P and H is A. Next U and Y. Check where is U. U is here. Where is Y? Y is over here. So again the reverse process. For U, I have to see the same row but the column of Y. So it is this. For Y, I have to see the same row but the column of U. So it is X. So for U it is R, for Y it is X. E and C. E is here, C is here. So now reverse. Previously we went forward, now we have to come reverse. For E it is R, for C it is O. So E it is R, C is O. Now last one Q and Z. Q is here and where is Z? Z is here. So now how I have to see for Q? I have to see the same row but that column of Z. So it is T. For Z what I have to see? I have to see the same row but column of Q. So that is X. See, when you see this, I can see this X. So when you see only you understand this, this has no meaning. So you will have to just skip those X. So this is the word you get. This gives a meaningful letter. So this is the plain text. So this is how the encryption and decryption is done using the Playfair cipher. Let us summarize the steps involved in the encryption and decryption of the Playfair cipher. Plain text is encrypted two letters at a time. We have to group it as a pair. If a pair is the repeated letter, insert letter like X. If both letters fall in the same row, replace each with the letters to its right. Circularly it is done. If both letters fall in the same column, replace each with the letter below it. Again, this is also done circularly. Otherwise, each letter is replaced by the letter in the same row but in the column of the other letter of the pair. This is how encryption is done, and the decryption is just the reverse process of the encryption process. This is about Playfair cipher encryption and decryption process. Now let us talk about the security of the Playfair cipher. The Playfair cipher is a great advance over simple monoalphabetic ciphers. For one thing is that whereas there are only 26 letters, there are 26 into 26, that is 676 digrams. Digram means a pair of letters. So that identification of individual digrams is more difficult. Furthermore, the relative frequencies of individual letters exhibit a much greater range than that of the digrams, making frequency analysis much more difficult. For these reasons, the Playfair cipher was for a long time considered unbreakable. It was used as a standard field system by the British Army in World War I and still enjoyed considerable use by the US Army and other Allied forces during World War II. Despite this level of confidence in its security, the Playfair cipher is relatively easy to break because it leaves much of the structure of the plain text language intact. A few hundred letters of ciphertext are generally sufficient. Thank you.